Okay. Welcome to Vancouver Soft Life. I'm here. My name is Reno P, and I'm here with Erica
slash Aurahack
slash
whatever.
Yeah, whichever you decide.
Whatever the hell.
Yeah, whatever you decide to identify with. So this is a podcast centralized mainly on Vancouverites, but it's always good having an outside perspective. So where are you from, Erica?
Montreal. Podcast about Vancouver life. First guest. Out of towner.
Hey, no, it's good to collect perspectives on what it's like here. So Montreal, can you tell me a little bit like where in Montreal?
Where in Montreal is kind of hard to describe because Montreal is just kind of very much its own island. Like there are different neighborhoods, but it doesn't.
Doesn't stand out, or
it's not really divided into like townships like it is here.
Oh, the municipalities.
Yeah,
okay.
Where it's like here you have Burnaby and Richmond and North Vancouver, and there's too many.
Downtown Vancouver, East Vancouver, West Vancouver.
I love Vancouver, but it's split apart so much. Everything is so far away. It's really stupid.
At least it's connected by the transit system, at the very least, right?
So slow though.
It's not perfect, and it is will be a habit.
Quiet. It could be that.
Quiet. You mean the transit system?
Yeah, but the SkyTrain is very quiet compared to the Montreal Metro, which is somewhat loud.
Oh, is it? How would the people like? Does it get squishy over there?
It can get pretty crowded.
Yeah, during the rush hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so Erica, tell me a little bit about what you're about. Like your work is as an artiste.
Yeah, so I guess the most general way of describing myself is that I'm an illustrator, but I do illustration work, I do design work, I do like art for games, I do UI, I do...
Wow, okay, it's the whole spectrum.
Yeah, just about anything that involves art in some way.
So,
I probably touch on.
Art for games, like indie games, or?
Yeah, so the two most recent games I've worked on, like as, I guess, like lead artists and stuff are Children of Zodiacs and The Shrouded Isle.
Okay.
As
lead designer.
Or as just like the main artist on the game.
Right.
I've done like freelance work for a whole bunch of other stuff, like 100-Foot Robot Golf and Civil and stuff like that.
So they just reach out to you like at Aurahack on Twitter or something?
Most of them end up reaching out to me through Twitter. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a social media kind of connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get into this kind of line of work? Was art always just a thing for you?
Are you Aurahack?
Yes. Hi.
I love your art. Oh my god.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for the comment. No worries.
I recognize you from somewhere.
Thank you though. Wow. So you got quite a following here, clearly.
Apparently.
So going back to the question. Are you always an artistic person, or?
Honestly, I kind of always wanted. I always knew that I kind of wanted to like make art for games. I guess I just didn't know in what capacity.
Okay.
I never figured that I would end up in like indie games or anything. I always thought that I would go work for like Ubisoft or something. Since that's
the dream, maybe.
Not really the dream. Well, at the time it was the dream. Now it's very the opposite of that. But
okay, interesting.
You don't want to work for Ubisoft. You don't want to work for a big games company.
For like any of the big AAA title producers.
It's like working for any other very large, corporation in any field. You're, a gear in a much larger
scope of things.
System.
Right. So how do you feel like with the indie scene? Or do you feel it's more laid back, relaxed, or still deadlines and everything?
It depends. It definitely depends on like the studio you're at and stuff. Fortunately the team that I work with at Kitbox on the Shrouded Isle and stuff, they're all super laid back and really easy to work with.
Okay, so it's
and that's generally the case for most of the indie teams back home. So
it's a lot more, I guess, easier to bear.
Just by virtue of having so many large studios, it's a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't want to work in this awful, horrible corporate hellspace. I'm going to leave with my friends and make our own studio where we don't have to abide by, overtime all the time and stuff like that.
Working your butt off for, a little recognition or whatever it is. I'm not sure what it's like to be in those industries, but it sounds like you have some experience with that, or?
I've been in games for, I don't know, 5-6 years maybe at this point.
Wow. Okay.
He's working on various things.
A lot of projects here and there.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, what exactly brings you to the city of Vancouver?
I'm here on a pit stop, I guess.
Right.
I'm on my way to Japan.
Japan. Where are you planning on living there for quite a while?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Tokyo for a week, and I'm just going to be
Nice.
like my dumb touristy self there and, visit as much as I can.
Yeah, I love Tokyo. I was pretty much playing around there for about a month on vacation. It's, the culture there is just so... have you been to Japan before?
No.
Okay.
This is my first time.
It's
so,
gonna be quite a surprise, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I've more or less already prepped myself for what life there was going to be like, but
in what ways?
just in the way of like from like being like a lot of the communities that I'm a part of online and stuff are so like intrinsically centered on Japan that it's like it's difficult to not already have a sense of like what being there is going to be like.
Okay. No, I mean I can definitely understand that. So it's like you're totally cool with the mannerisms, food.
Yeah, I mean it's already like I don't know that society's insular in the same way that like I am, so it kind of blends perfectly.
Like the biggest thing that for me was like, well, actually there's quite a few culture shocks. It's like one, you don't have to tip.
That'll be nice.
That's lovely, right?
That'll be nice.
And our Canadian dollar isn't the hottest right now, and but in terms of living there, like you can go eat pretty well, like at a decent price.
Yeah, that's the thing from like why I'm planning on living there for a while is because it's surprisingly affordable. Like my rent in Osaka is really really cheap. Like it's like $900 a month.
Comparable, like to.
And I'm like pretty central in the city. Like, I mean, like I'm 2 minutes away from a train station. Like it's a great location. And like eating there is super cheap. Like if you're doing groceries, you just wait till the end of the day and buy everything when they mark it all down. Because,
so you know about the time sales.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Are you good with Japanese food? Raw fish?
Yeah, I'm okay with all of that. So,
good. I mean, the food there, especially in Osaka.
Yeah, like I'm excited to have like $4 bentos from the grocery store and have it be like better sushi than I've ever had in my entire life.
In terms of all like, hey, in Vancouver we got some pretty good sushi here. If you're willing to pay.
Weirdly enough, I have not tried any of the sushi here. I have not tried any of the ramen here.
Oh, the ramen? There's ramen here.
But already it has to be better than ramen back home.
Okay. So, well, I've never been to Montreal.
Like there's some good ramen in Montreal, but again, I bet it's nothing compared to like good ramen here. So
the price has gone up quite a bit, like considerably. But it's still, if you're willing to, pay. There's some good ramen.
Yeah.
Do you know Robson Street in Vancouver downtown?
Vaguely. I've seen the sign.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so there's like 100 ramen shops on there. Well, not 100, but it's like ramen city central. Some sushi. I guess you haven't heard of Tojo's?
No.
The inventor of the California roll?
Okay, that's news to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was news to me too, but...
I'll probably end up going there at some point. Before I leave, so...
It's one of the best in the city. It's a place called Miku. Gotta plug that place. Hey, do you know what aburi sushi is?
No.
It's like the sushi where it's like sushi, but it's torched on top.
Oh, okay.
The burger.
Yeah,
so that place is fantastic. Again, if you're willing to go the extra buck.
I still have a couple days left to go get dinner with like some friends and stuff. So there's opportunities to go to these places.
Vancouver is great for food. It's cultural melting pot.
Yeah.
Japanese like sushi every block, every corner. Owner of this place used to be a sushi guy. So good, it's good. Yeah. So you talked about the online communities, like is like the main like an anime focus or like Japanese culture or art? I imagine you're part of a lot of
communities. Like there's kind of it's all like kind of different communities that I guess I like just some of them cross over and a lot of them is just like this is the one thing that like definitely part of a lot of like artist circles, right? Part of a lot of like I guess what most people would refer to as just like the Pixiv artist circles.
Are you a part of Pixiv artists, or are you on the account?
I am on Pixiv. I haven't updated in a really long time.
Feel free to plug yourself, in the podcast.
I'm so bad at updating my Pixiv just because it's the one that I keep forgetting about. Like I update all my my Tumblr and all that. But
okay, so you're on Tumblr as well. Any other outlets?
Like I'm on like if you type in Aurahack into Google, you'll find all of that stuff. But like
that's kind of what I did. I found your Facebook or something.
Yeah, on Twitter, Instagram, Pixiv, Twitch. Actually, no. So Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Pixiv. I'm all Aurahack on all those. Twitch, I'm Aurahack _ because I forgot my password.
Oh no!
For my original account, and I have no way of recovering it because the email is so old that every time I try to log into Google, they're just like, no, you've used too many wrong passwords, and also your recovery email doesn't work. So.
Oh no,
that account is just lost forever.
So have to accommodate it. So do you do game streaming or do you do art streaming? What do you use Twitch for?
Both. I haven't had the time to do it recently.
I mean, but with all the traveling and preparations, I imagine it's like hard to find time.
Well, definitely now. I actually brought my streaming gear with me so that once I'm in Japan, I brought my Japanese PS2 also. So
Japanese PS2.
Yeah, I'm hoping to
2 generations old, but
I'm hoping to go to because I'm also staying pretty close to Denden Town in Osaka.
Denden City, yeah.
So I'm hoping to just kind of scour all the shops there and find just dumb, weird, used PS2 shit,
games.
And then have a couple nights where I'm streaming and just go through that stuff.
You go to Akiba, there's a store near K-Books called Radio Kaikan. It's around there. A whole bunch of old PS2, even Super Nintendo games, but you'll find all obscure PS2 games for 400 yen.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I'm super looking forward to picking those stores clean.
Going through those bins, like, oh, what's this? I don't know. Let's get it. So you're into those kind of classic, old school, obscure PS2 games, or?
Pretty much. I have almost 200 PS2 games or something back home, and
legit.
Yeah, all of them are bad games. So a lot of them are I don't know, I don't have as many classics as much as I do like Red Ninja and Nano Breaker and a whole bunch of Dynasty Warriors and all of the Tokyo Extreme Racer games. And
I've heard of Red Ninja and I love Dynasty Warriors, but you lost me on Nano Breaker.
Nano Breaker is a hack and slash game by Konami.
Isn't that female ninja?
No.
Dang it.
No, Nano Breaker is
Akunoichi.
No, it's just a really bad hack and slash where the guy has a giant nano sword and you fight cyborgs and the whole thing with that game is that whenever you hit enemies just giant puddles of blood come flying out of them.
Okay.
And then you can also go into the game settings and change the color of the blood and set it to just rainbow so that whenever you just slash through enemies, there's just fountains of rainbow shit coming out everywhere and it splatters all over the wall and
okay.
That was the thing with that game was check it out. There's lots of blood.
That can also be rainbows.
Yeah, but that game is hot garbage.
Okay.
But I have a soft spot for it, just like every other bad game. So.
PS2. Yeah, Japanese PS2. You had to import that, or?
I had a friend who was visiting Japan at the time, and was like, "Hey, I'm here and I found a really cheap one. Do you want me to send it to you?" It's like, fucking hell yeah.
Love those cheap bad PS2 games. Is it region locked or something?
The PS2, yeah, it's region locked to Japan, so DVDs were region locked, unfortunately.
Oh, DVD. It's not a foreign concept in this day and age.
Yeah.
But, back in the day, I was also a huge PS2 guy. Collected tons of Japanese PS2 games.
Yeah.
There were ways around region locking.
Certain ways.
Yeah, there are methods to the madness.
I like having physical copies of everything though, so
I respect it.
I'd stay as legit as I can.
So how do you feel about that actually nowadays? Now with the whole digital age, everything being DLC and everything's you can just download it onto your console or your PC. Not as much physical copies. I don't remember the last time I saw a physical PC game. In the store. It's just go through Steam, you can buy it there.
I mean, PC games, definitely, that market. Physical PC games, that market has died, but...
In terms of consoles, what do you think?
still, I don't know, it depends. Like, there are definitely, I have a lot of people who have moved on to just buying everything digitally. I still like having a collection of things.
It's like a physical item, right? It's yours.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I didn't having like moved somewhat recently. Like,
Right.
there's a part of me that's just like, what if I just didn't have all this shit? Like,
Yeah, it's like, I imagine 200 plus cases of games, like, oh no.
it's all my PS2 games. I have like basically every console, so I have games for most of those consoles also.
Physical copies. I imagine it takes up a lot of space, a lot of closet rooms.
Yeah, a lot of those, are in boxes and
Oh, nice.
like packed away in a closet somewhere. So.
It makes moving around easier, like having stuff digitally.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know, did you buy a Nintendo Switch?
I do, yeah. It's the only console that I brought with me because it's the only thing that I can carry.
So, I was skeptical at first because I wasn't a huge Wii U guy. I thought it was pretty bad for what it was. But
Yeah.
like the Switch, I mean, it's a portable console, right? That can run great games, usually. Xenoblade 2 on handheld looks pretty bad.
I'm like 15 minutes into that game now.
15?
15 minutes.
That's like
I started
nothing.
playing it this week.
Oh, that's...
I saved it for my flight. I wanted to save it for my flight because I'm going to have a 14-hour flight. I'm like, what better time to play a long-ass JRPG than...
It is long. I will attest to that. It's, have you played any of the previous entries? Yeah, I don't imagine a lot of people.
Like all of the previous ones, like Xenosaga and other previous Monolith games and stuff.
Xenosaga, like 1 through 3?
Yeah.
So I love that series.
No, I didn't play 3. I played through 1. I played through some of 2.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you really need to. 1 was probably my favorite one, so it's yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, going back to communities online. Clearly, like you knew someone here.
Yeah, I mean, I know a whole bunch of people here. Like, there's a lot of like game dev people here that I'm familiar with, just by virtue of being in that industry, I guess.
Like, are you staying here by yourself in an apartment or hotel, or?
Oh no, I'm staying with a friend who we met back home. She used to work in Montreal.
Oh, did she?
Until she moved. She's from here originally. She moved to Montreal for a job and then moved back here.
And you guys kind of like bonded over there.
Cool. Yeah, we became friends back home, and so I'm staying at her place.
So it wasn't so much an online community thing. It's like you met in person.
With her specifically, yeah, no, it's more just like regular friendship or whatever. I'm here with my friend Debbie, who like that's I think more of an online community thing. Like
so you came here with Debbie, but it wasn't the person you associated. You're staying at your friend's place.
Yeah. I'm staying with my friend's place. But I came to this venue here that we are at with Debbie.
Who will have on a later podcast maybe. We'll see how things go. Okay, that's really interesting. So
yeah, Debbie,
the power of friendship, right?
Yeah, like Debbie I met through Twitter and
there's an online thing there.
And like slowly started connecting with like all of her friends, and now there's like that community of people that we kind of like all get along together, and yeah.
So would you say it plays an important part, like just I don't know, communities in general, like
it's pretty much the thing that keeps me going, honestly. Is someone who like doesn't maybe has been going through like some pretty tough times for the past couple months.
Right.
Like my lifeblood at this point has been like the online communities that I have.
So it's like a good like support for you in terms of your life.
Yeah,
that's important to have. It's the interaction with others, and if the community can help do that for you, then like why not?
Yeah,
it's,
for
more
sure.
Power to you, right? So going back to Japan too, you're renting an apartment by yourself or with a friend or?
No, that's by myself. I'm staying in a very tiny apartment in Osaka on my own.
Adventure.
I'm excited to have my kitchen next to my bed.
Oh, that's
that's weird and novel, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, as long as you have a stove and a fridge, should be.
It has a hot plate.
Oh, do you cook?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, now is a good time as any to learn.
There's gonna be eventually. I'll learn, but
like live off instant noodles and those $4 bentos.
Yeah, and discount bentos.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be staying there for quite a while. I should hope you
I'll eventually have to cook just by virtue of having to save money by doing groceries and stuff. So.
Yeah, because like if you're going there for work, it can be, pinching pennies is kind of important. I was there as a tourist, so spending money wasn't really an issue, but coming back was like, oh man, I'm broke.
Yeah.
So many fun, stupid things to do here.
I would like to avoid that. So.
Yeah, and you have connections there too, in Japan or in Osaka. Anyone there for you?
Not in Osaka. I have a lot of friends in Kyoto, which fortunately is a pretty short train ride.
It's like 45 minutes away.
Yeah, it's like 30-40 minutes away. I have a lot of friends in Tokyo also. That I'll be spending my time with when I'm there. And yeah, like just pockets of friends from either like the art scene or like music scene or like game dev scene. Just different groups of people that I have that I know that can
through online interactions and communities. Like
there's live a very fortunate life where no matter where I am, I seem to at least always have a friend there. So.
That's good. I mean, I think it's also, you have the personality for it to be able to, you have to be willing to connect with others too, because some people aren't overly extroverted.
Yeah.
So I guess.
And to be fair, I don't think I am either. And generally, most friends that I end up making is they see my art on Twitter and then they reach out to me and then we connect that way. But I mean, whatever. Like any method is valid, right?
Yeah. I mean, like as long as you make the connection there, I think it's like it doesn't really matter how you get there, as long as you establish some kind of bond between you and others.
Yeah.
So partly of why I do this podcast is because I feel that there's a lot of people in many communities who aren't, they just don't have it in themselves to like kind of bring up those community into the unknown, especially here, like in Breakout VR, where we play fighting games competitively. From an outsider who just likes to play these kind of games, it might seem intimidating, just going to the lines than where some of the best players in the city like gather, right?
Yeah.
So I just want to kind of put it out there, like, we're all humans, right? It's like, just feel free to hang on, drop by. We're all like cool guys, cool people here, right?
Yeah.
So, just bring awareness to that.
I mean, honestly, I think this is like super cool because like this kind of doesn't exist back home. Mm-hmm. Like Montreal has a really there are a lot of like gaming bars and stuff.
Gaming bars.
Yeah, showing up now where it's like come here and drink, and you can also rent like a Super Nintendo for an hour or whatever. Or
really
like it's a bar and it also has a bunch of arcade machines
and that's totally fine in Montreal to have.
It used to be like super sketchy legally until like new regulation passed where that ended up being okay.
And so it was a fairly recent thing with these arcades.
It's pretty recent, but like as far as like this kind of like fighting game meetup and stuff, there's kind of none of that back home. Like there's no
offline gatherings.
Yeah, there's no fighting game community there. Not at least that I know of. Like,
do you have other communities like? I don't know. Are you into cosplay at all?
There are cosplayers that are based in Montreal, but even then there's not like we have a
cons.
Yeah, like there's Otakuthon, which is the big anime convention in Montreal. That's like 16,000 people every year or something.
Whoa,
it's a lot of
people. Okay,
but I think that's the thing where I realized that like actually the community aspect is kind of missing in the city. Is that like you get to like the free play like games room at Otakuthon, and it's very underserved and like.
Is there not enough interest for it, or?
I genuinely don't know. I don't know. I think it's missing the kind of place where people can go and like organize that kind of stuff.
Does no one want to take it upon themselves to kind of reach out?
Not really. I mean, like a lot of the gaming presence in the city is like developers, right? And like I think by like most people end up there's more developers than there are, I think, like
gamers?
People who want to connect in this way.
Right.
So it ends up like there's a lot of like gaming events in Montreal.
Okay.
But there are a lot of like networking stuff for
So
like
more
game
industry
development.
related.
Yeah.
Okay, because I remember I think there's DreamHack in Montreal, I believe, or something.
Yeah.
That's a major event, right?
There's DreamHack, and I didn't go to that. I was supposed to go to that actually.
Is it not this year? Or was there last year? Or
No, there was one last. There was one last year.
Okay, so you passed the.
Yeah. And there's like starting to be more of that. I don't know how big that ended up being, but it's cool at least that that's starting to show up.
Okay, so I think because I think DreamHack is an esports thing, is it not?
Yeah, they had God, what did they have last year? It was like CS:GO and Street Fighter championships, I think.
Okay.
And then
Dota, League of Legends.
No, there was no Dota. If there was Dota, I would have been there.
Okay. So you're a Dota head.
Yeah, I haven't played in forever because I'm hot trash, but I keep up at least to the competitive scene. So.
Nice. I think it's kind of grown, like esports and just like not just like Dota. Well, I mean Dota is like one of the original esports.
Yeah, in a lot of ways it is like the original powerhouse, but
yeah, back in Warcraft 3 days.
Yeah.
2000s, yeah. Like, how did you follow it from back then? No, just like Dota 2?
I'm pretty new to it, so at least for the new, meaning like the the past like 5-6 years or whatever.
Hey, I think that's when the game first came out or something.
Maybe I think I started following it like maybe a year after it came out of like its beta phase or whatever. So.
Okay, it's quite a while ago.
Yeah.
So DreamHack, again, so going back to one day, with the rise of esports, game development, and just also like the indie gaming scene. I don't know, I can't pinpoint the time, but like it just kind of exploded overnight almost. Would you say?
I don't know. Like back home, it definitely felt like a much more like gradual thing.
Okay.
I think like it's like where it's at now. I think is the result of maybe like a good like 8-9 years of like slow build of just kind of studios slowly building themselves up. Like
okay, yeah.
There's a lot of like really big indie studio names in Montreal, and like it seems like it like blew up overnight or something, but
that's what it looks like to me in my perspective.
Yeah, but like being from there and knowing the people there, like they've existed for a very, very long time. It's just that they're like the market is in a place now where they are able to like
viably
exist as a much like bigger thing, or like they're capable of like. Like it's news when their new game gets announced or whatever.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
So it seems like, oh well, where did this studio come from?
Again, I think it's also very community driven and like centralized, right? It's like, so you see a whole bunch of indie games nowadays, like huge followings, like massive followings, like even more so than some AAA studios, For example, Undertale has a massive following.
Yeah, totally.
Right? It's like, communities just love it. And it was like a $10, $12 game, I believe.
You're asking the wrong person. I wouldn't know because I haven't played Undertale.
But you're familiar.
Yeah, but I'm familiar with it. Like somewhere around that price range.
So it was like it's like less than an 80. I mean, I guess I don't know how much games are in Montreal. Like for us in Vancouver, they're like $80 for like a
same price.
Okay,
it's Canadian money.
Yep. So our CAD, so people would be more hyped for this $10, $12 game that was developed probably by like smaller studios.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Ubisoft or EA games. Not putting names out there, just saying, same facts. A recent game by EA called Battlefront 2 Star Wars, whole fiasco.
Very familiar with it.
I'm sure it made commercial success in some way.
Very familiar with that game, considering it was developed in Montreal. So.
Oh, so it's kind of a chip on your shoulder. Not representative of you. Not at all.
No, not really. I did not work on the game. I have a lot of friends who worked on that game.
Oh no. Well, I'm sorry for your friends. I'll be honest. It's a very fun game. In terms of its gameplay, fantastic.
I feel bad for them also. Largely, it's complicated.
There were a lot of politics.
That game's a hot mess.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I can see where that comes from. There's online communities seem to love, taking a poop on it for what it's done. But microtransactions are just kind of the way things are now.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So So I guess with art, gaming, music, are you into music scene at all? Do you have anything there?
I like music is probably like the most important thing in my life.
Oh,
next
okay.
to like games and stuff. Like it's partially why I'm super excited to get to go to Japan and
Right.
see like a bunch of like shows that normally I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, because they don't come overseas, really.
Yeah, like I have a lot of like friends and stuff in like the J-core scene and
J-core.
yeah, like
okay.
like Japanese like hardcore and like hard
Oh, is
dance
that what
and
core
stuff.
means? Oh, I still see nightcore. I'm like,
Yeah.
what does core mean? Okay.
And yeah, like I have a lot of friends in that scene, and like getting
Over there.
yeah,
Okay.
and like they don't ever play in like North America or anything,
Of
so
course.
it'll be really fun to get to go there and actually like plan to book to see all of their shows and stuff. So.
Hey man, if you can't bring the fight over here, you might as well take the fight to them, right?
Exactly.
So, but it's a very big important part of
Yeah, like
music.
yeah, like they like it's kind of a weird honor almost to be friends with a lot of them. Like they've like have all made like music for some of like my favorite like rhythm games and stuff. So
A little bit
like,
of starstruck there,
kinda.
But also being friends with them is like, I'm friends with them.
Yeah, it's a very like humble feeling, I guess. It's just like I feel like a loser who's surrounded by like amazing people. But,
No, you also have some renown too. I'm here with Aurahack. It's it's an honor to be able to have you on my podcast.
I'm no one.
No.
I'm a stupid nobody.
No, have some confidence.
But yeah, like it's exciting to get to go there and like be a part of that community for a while and like get to like enjoy the things from them that I can't enjoy here, like
Right,
their shows or like getting to see their music in games
Being performed live.
Well, also just like there are no arcades back home, so it's like I don't get to play like I don't get to play like 2DX26 or
2D.
like
Is that a rhythm game?
2DX like Beatmania.
Oh, okay. Conversion.
Yeah, like I don't get to play like the new Beatmania and see everyone's music in it or whatever. I don't get to play like the new Sound Voltex or whatever. So
Yeah, we talked about Groove Coaster. Probably my favorite.
that was the like I didn't even know that they made a Groove Coaster arcade machine until I found out like Metro Town here has one, and that's actually like that.
It's pretty outdated.
That specific machine is like 4 generations back or something.
It's like version 2, I believe, and I think the one there on version 3 over there.
Yeah, like version 4 is about to come out.
Version 4 is about to come out. So you were playing the mobile game on the phone, or?
Yeah, like I played Groove Coaster like the first one, like I played it the day it came out on phones.
And then you just found out with the arcade version, which is the original version, actually.
Yeah. At least a like more amped up version of the original game.
So you played the one at the local arcade CHQ Metatown?
Yeah.
Okay. With the actual knobs and press and.
Yeah. The shaky floor, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
It's just like you feel the beat under your feet, and you get your hands going.
Yeah, and like getting to play that and getting to play like U-Beat for the first time after.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Yes, that is how you say it.
Because it's like Ju-Beat. Let's play Ju-Beat.
Most people think it's Ju-Beat. It's actually U-Beat.
That makes a lot of sense now.
And getting to play that for the first time, that was super fun. Or like getting to play it on the first time on like its actual hardware, not on the like iPad.
Right, not the touch equivalent.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you don't really have those kind of games in Montreal.
I mean, Montreal is it's so far from Japan that nobody pays the most that we have is a Pump It Up Prime.
I don't even know that game.
2017 edition or something.
Okay.
It's like DDR except instead of cardinal arrows, it's 4 in every corner and then 1 in the center.
So the X in the center. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I love Pump It Up, but like that's the best that we have is like that one Pump It Up machine that the arcade also doesn't take care of at all.
Oh no!
Like the pads get fucked up super quickly because people will play with like winter boots and shit.
Oh, it's stomping on it, right?
They stomp on it and it gets like snow and salt and all that stuff in it. So.
Imagine, and there's only but is there even a versus setting? It's like it's just one.
No, there's 2 pads. So you can play versus. But.
Yeah, going to Japan, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. I don't know if you're a taiko.
I don't really like taiko, drum master, all that.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, Groove Coaster. Have you heard of Cthulhu Rhythm? Cthulhu Rhythm?
I think so.
It's like it looks like a piano. Like that's kind of what you're playing on.
Oh, I've only heard that pronounced as Tunism. But,
Sure, okay, yeah, sure. That
one I haven't played either, and I'm really excited to play.
Oh, that's there are people with like the pros wearing gloves that you can get from a vending machine just to play that game.
Yeah.
There's that. We got what else? There's U-Beat. Washing machine. Have you seen that?
believe that Dance Rush is supposed to have is already having its location tests.
I haven't even heard of that.
That's the successor to DDR that they announced at the Arcade Expo this year.
Okay.
And there's a round one 20 minutes from my apartment in Osaka.
Oh,
so
that's perfect.
Hopefully I'll be able to get to play it there, but
maybe in Namba or something. I don't know. I'm not sure, but okay. So no, that's interesting. Rhythm gamer. So that kind of combines a couple passions: gaming, music.
Gaming and music, and my love for batshit art design. As I'm watching Sound Voltex being played over there, and just being like, I love everything about that UI, and it inspires me a lot.
Oh, okay, so rhythm gaming is, it combines a lot of things. So that's the kind of game you're really into right now?
Rhythm games are probably my favorite kind of games.
Respect.
I grew up playing DDR with my sister and stuff, and slowly started making friends around the ITG community back home, and that grew into getting into Stepmania communities.
Oh yeah, Stepmania.
And forming a lot of my early online friendships around that, and and that grew into discovering DJ Max, and then Beatmania, and just slowly fanning out from there into kind of...
It just explodes, right? You meet people, you meet similar interests, and it kind of drawn from there.
Yeah.
So, looks like your manager here is to pick you up. She's here. We'll wrap it up.
Sitting on the wings.
Yeah, she's, in her background. So, let's wrap it up. Just want to thank you for, being on my podcast, and, I hope to be able to take this up again sometime. I think we can always go on and on. Wherever. So, any last plugs you want to shout out while you're here?
Just
follow you at
it's twitter.com/Aurahack, patreon.com/Aurahack. That's basically it. You'll find everything else you need to there.
Okay, thank you so much, Erica. Reno P here. We're just gonna wrap it up, and that's about our day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm waving to the microphone.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.